Hey Bob, real quick, we added those date columns in your worksheet. I wanted to go real quick over how you can work with those. If you remember here, we're going to change this just a little bit. Instead of the month function, we're just going to point it towards the date and then click that all the way down. And what I've done here is I've changed the formatting. You got to format cells here. Originally it was like this, and instead we're going to right click and format it, and we're going to go to custom formatting, and we're just going to give it 3 months so we have the months here. So this is the original worksheet. This is your main data table. We're going to cheat here and just make a copy of this worksheet, and then we're going to act like we just imported another month. We're going to copy this value, we're going to paste that all the way down, and then we're going to give some new values here. This would be the same as going in and going to data, insert from your text, adding these columns. We're going to have the same values as these values, but that's okay. It's just a demonstration. What we're going to do is we're going to copy this worksheet and we're going to append your original data source. So I'm going to click here in A2. I use the Control Shift and right arrow key to go all the way there. While those are still pressed down, I hit the down arrow key. It'll collect all of that area for me. I want to copy that data, and we're going to put it at the very bottom of your worksheet. Right click, paste. And so now we have these values here. You see our months stay the same, our dates stay the same. That's all good. We like that. We don't have any need for the sheet anymore. We can get rid of it. We just deleted that data sheet. We have one worksheet with all of your data in it. We have January and February. So now your pivot table can look at this entire table and pull your numbers from both the old month and the new month. We do have to do one thing first. On each one of your pivot tables, so meaning this pivot table and any other pivot tables you have, we have to go and we have to tell Excel that we've opened up that area. Go in here into your Analyze, change Data Source, and then it's highlighted your old area. All we need to do is click there, go down and copy that whole area again. You can also click on this and drag the entire worksheet if you want, either way. But basically we're going to add that new area. And now it's going to look at all that data together. And we know it's going to work because when we go up here in your date field, we can take this date, we can drag it down into your rows, and you now see that the judge here has the January data and the February data. Now they match because we just simply copied it, but you can imagine that as your months grow, you can give the judge a historical view on each month. You can also do the same thing if we get rid of that field by dragging the month in here. Although the month's formatted just a little bit differently, we'd have to go in here and we'd have to go in the field settings and change this format a little bit. If we wanted to see that, come in here and then we can go to a custom format again and make it a little more friendlier to see. The reason those formatting changed is it's actually on purpose. If we look back in the data fields, we formatted our data to be date fields, and that's important. In the pivot tables, we want Excel to know that these are actually date fields. And as you add data, as you append data each month, you'll see that it grows, and then you can add that to your filters. Now you can do the same thing with your dates. You can come in here and you can right click that month and add a slicer, and as time grows you can start clicking on your slicers and then you can just see that. Also, the beauty of pivot tables, and the way they're called pivot tables, is you can start to pivot data. If you can have this look a little bit differently, you can take the judge's name and drag it below the date, and now you can see they're organized by the month and then the judges. Depending on what your data is kind of how you want to do it. One thing we really haven't messed with yet is the subtypes. Well, let's go ahead and get rid of the months for now, just to make it a little easier to see. Let's take your subtypes, and again, let's drag that underneath your judges' names. And now you can see what the judge is and all their subtypes below it. And then, again, you can add a slicer to the subtypes, just like you did the months, just like you did the judges' names. Let's do that. Add a slicer here. We can get that here. We'll run our screen real estate, and you can see now we're going to start getting a little bit of filtering. Now you can also filter both of them, so you can say just January. for that type. We'll get rid of those. Sometimes this field will go away here and you're like, hey, where'd it go? Just click anywhere in there in your pivot table. It'll show up again. If it doesn't, this is a little tricky. You go to Analyze, and that field list is a toggle. Sometimes that'll go away. The same thing, you can pivot this and put your subtypes underneath your judges' names, and then you can pivot that. So you can see you can make quite a few worksheets here really quickly that you can just simply filter through for your presentation. You can also create some hyperlinks and put totals here. Right click that and create a hyperlink. Bring up this hyperlink box and you can say, hey, where do you want that to go to? Existing page here, and you can place it in the document. You can say that refers to that right there. And so now they come in, they'll click on it, and it'll hyperlink to that sheet. And then you can rename this your title slide. So you can actually kind of build out a workbook that people can play with on their own, and you don't have to mess with it. And that's the key to make life a little easier on us IT folks. Okay, that's a lot of information. Thank you again very much for the tea. Bill will tell you I'm a big tea drinker. I appreciate you taking the time to send that to me. If you need any help on any of this stuff, always drop me an email or get a hold of me. Take care.